Alright, so welcome to review test 1, the first test of the first 6 weeks, okay? So first problem, we have given f of x equals 5x minus 12, what is f of 8? So they're asking you to evaluate the function when x equals 8, okay? So f of 8 means evaluate the function, which is the f of x equals 5x minus 12 when x equals 8. Okay, so basically that's what it means. So that means whenever you see the x right here, you just replacing the x with number 8. So the x over here, you're gonna take it out, the x, and put the parenthesis and put 8 in there. Okay, everything else stay the same. So I just switching the x with number 8. Okay, so now I multiply 5 times 8 gives you 40. 40 minus 12, the answer is 28. So you're gonna write your answer right here. F of 8 equals 28. Okay, second example, we're doing the same thing because they're asking what is the g of negative 6. That means they're asking you to evaluate this function whenever x is negative 6. Okay, so just replacing the x with the number in the parenthesis. 1/2 parenthesis negative 6 square you put outside plus 5. Now you can put everything in the calculator and you're going to get the answer is negative oh no, sorry, it's not a negative, it's a half of 36 is 18 plus 5, which is 23. Okay, so again, write your answer right here. G of negative 6 equals 23. It just means when x is negative 6, the y value for this function is 23. Alright, this is number 5. They're asking us, are these inverse function? So very first thing you're going to have to pay attention is the keywords, right? So inverse means opposite and also means switch x and y. Okay? Function, there's two things to recognize function is x cannot repeat. And the vertical line test crosses only one time. So let's go ahead and take a look at these functions. We have the green function and the purple function. Okay, so the green function, it is a function because the vertical line test is passing. It only crosses one time every time I draw the vertical line. Okay, what about the purple function right here? The purple function, if I draw the vertical line, I notice here I have a crossing point, here I have a point, here I have a point. So it crosses the graph multiple times. Therefore, this one is not a function. Okay, so if it's not a function, we're going to go ahead and cross out the two answer choices that are wrong. So the first one, they said they are both function. Nope, that is a wrong statement. And also, so here they have they are inverse but not inverse function. We need to check on this. They are function, they are not function nor inverse. We need to check on this also. D said they are inverse function. You see, only the green is a function and the purple is not. So D is the wrong statement because they say they're both functions, right? So let's check for the inverse. To do that, we need to remember inverse means whenever you switch x and y, we get the opposite, right? So let's take the 2 point on the green graph right here. And what we do is we're going to switch the x and the y around and see if they are on the purple graph. Okay, so let's pick 2 points. When you pick in point, you want to pick the one at the corner so that you have the whole numbers and it's easier to see. Okay, so here if I pick this one is 0, 1. Okay, and then one more on the green. Let's pick this one. This one is called 1, 4. Okay, so I have 2 points on this function. 1, 4 and 0, 1. So let's go ahead and flip those 2 points. So we want to check if those 2 points, after you switch them, 0, 1 because 1, 0 become 1, 0. And 1, 0 is actually here on the second graph, right? 1, 0 is right here. Let's switch the 1, 4. 1, 4, if you flip them over to change the x and the y, it becomes the 4, 1. Let's see if they are on this function. 4 is right here, up 1. So yes, these 2 points, after you switch the x and the y, they actually are on the second function. So 4, 1 and 1, 0 are the inverse of the first 2 points. So they are inverse, but they are not inverse function. Okay, remember there's only one of them are function. Okay, so this is how we do the problem like number 5. Number 6 are very similar to number 5 because they're asking the same thing. Are these inverse functions? Okay, so first let's check for functions. That means we're going to do the vertical line test. So here we have the vertical line test. It crosses twice, so this is not function. Also over here we do the vertical line test like this. We also have it crosses the graph twice, right? So also the bottom one is not function. Okay. So they're both not function. You're going to cross out the answer A because they say they are both function. And also D because they say they are inverse function. You see, they are wrong statements. So now we're going to check if the C and D and B, who are the correct one. So let's take a look. Remember, like earlier, we're going to pick 2 points from the top graph right here. The good point that we can see right here is 1, 3. Okay, and the next point I'm going to pick is this, -2, +2. Okay, so let's check if they are on the other graph. So if I switch this one, I'm going to have 3, 1. So 3 is right here and 1 is right here. So obviously it's not on the second graph. And if I switch this one, the second point is going to become 2, -2. Let's check. 2 is right here, -2 is here. So as you can see, even though one of them is on the blue graph, the other one is not. So therefore, they are not inverse. Okay, so the answer should be they are not inverse nor functions. B. They are not function and they're not inverse function. Okay, pick 2 points, flip them over and see if they are on the other function or not.